Hi everyone, I'm Steve Antony and I'm recording this video in response to an email I received from KidWrite Language Arts. So first of all, thank you KidWrite Language Arts for emailing me. It's always nice to receive an email. So KidWrite Language Arts, they do a project every year, and this year they're going to be using sign language to read picture books, which I think is a really good project. And they've sent me a list of questions that I'm now going to answer, and there's going to be someone here interpreting my responses using sign language. So the first question, why pandas? Why not porcupines or lemurs or chimpanzees? So this is clearly in relation to my Mr. Panda series. So why pandas? So, I mean, I love pandas. Who doesn't love pandas? You just want to hug them, right? I mean, they're such cuddly looking creatures and they have a big presence. And I went through a stage of drawing pandas all the time. And then one day I drew this one particular panda who had a very interesting expression. And I wondered what it was this panda wanted to say. I kind of felt like this panda had a story to tell. So this is the fourth book in the Mr. Panda series. The first one is Please Mr. Panda. And anyway, that's how the story came about, quite simply from being inspired by one sketch in my sketchbook of a deadpan panda. Why not porcupines? Well, funnily enough, I did actually include a porcupine in the most recent Mr. Panda book, but very sadly, she was left on the cutting room floor. She was edited out. But you know what? You never know. I might bring her back for a future Mr. Panda book. Lemurs. One of Mr. Panda's two best friends is a lemur. The lemur features in most of the Mr. Panda books. And chimpanzees. No, I haven't got any chimpanzees. Sorry. Maybe I will include one in a future book. I have got a book called Betty Goes Bananas, and that features a gorilla, so kind of close. Well, a bit bigger, so maybe not. But no chimpanzees for the moment. When did you start writing and illustrating your own stories? So I started when I was very young. I mean, I didn't like to speak to people when I was young, and I was really shy, actually, and I would lose myself in my own imagination. I'd make up stories, and I still do that. I mean, I never stopped. I really enjoy telling stories with pictures. I think the great thing about telling stories with pictures is that sometimes a picture can say so much more than a paragraph, for example, or even a chapter in a book. And pictures can be read by just about anybody. It doesn't matter what language you speak. It doesn't matter, where you're from in the world. Picture books are universal. So as a result, I think that picture books, in fact, are one of the most powerful tools for telling stories. And the next question, how do you pick the subject of the books you write? That's a good question because it really depends. Okay, first of all, I have to be inspired, and inspiration is really all around you. I'm inspired by things in my personal life. I'm inspired by things politically. I'm inspired by what's happening culturally in the world. So it can come from everywhere. Sometimes I can be inspired by something I hear someone say on the bus, I used to work as a special needs support worker several years ago, and I'm telling you this because my experience there inspired me to write this book and illustrate this book. This book's called Amazing, and it's about a boy in a wheelchair. And it's, this is actually a proof copy, so it's quite tatty. It's about a boy in a wheelchair and his pet dragon. But the thing is, the book isn't actually about the wheelchair. The wheelchair is just incidental. In a way, it's irrelevant. And that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to create a story that featured a child who uses a wheelchair, without the story being about the wheelchair, if that makes sense. Because I do really feel that there just aren't enough picture books out there that feature children from minority groups as main characters, that don't focus on the fact that that child is from a minority group. There are, of course, there are books out there, but I feel like there could be more. And the next question, what's the best part of your work? Best part of my work? Well, I mean, I get asked this question quite often, and it's kind of a hard one to answer because there are so many great things about what I do. So I do this full time. I write and illustrate books full time, and I travel the country, sometimes the world. So it's just great to have this platform and to have this opportunity. And it's great to meet librarians. It's great to meet booksellers. You meet so many people, teachers, like-minded people, authors, illustrators. Of course, it's fantastic to meet the children, to meet the readers, to see what they have to see what they have to say about my work, to see how they react. So yeah, I mean, it's a great job. It could be tiring at times. I mean, sometimes I don't sleep and I work through the night, which is something I would never recommend. So yeah, it can be stressful, but it's all worth it. It's a great job, and I'm very, very grateful. So I think that's it. That's all the questions. Well, thank you so much for your questions. And I wish you all the best with your sign language project. Okay, so thank you, KidWrite Language Arts, for getting in touch. Bye for now.